From Daizu cuisine to the Ashidzu Fire Festival and Idzu embroidered hats, China's multiculturalism is celebrated in the unusual and unique art form of pop-up books. The concept came to life at the hands of American-Chinese artist-photographer Colette. The Philadelphia-based photographer has already worked with many different magazines throughout the US.
When I was in graduate school, I spent most of my time on the computer, learning Photoshop. So when I graduated, I realized that one of the main reasons why I'd studied photographer was because I got to travel around and explore things, and it was fun.
In 1994, Colette made a pilgrimage back to Yunnan, her ancestral homeland and the birthplace of her mother. It was also the first time she discovered her Idzu heritage, redefining her personal identity. She decided to extend her stay, teaching English and exploring the unique traditions of one of China's many ethnic minorities.
Growing up in the United States, I always felt that I looked a little bit different than other Chinese people I met. I always had kind of darker skin and wavier hair. My mom had bigger eyes. There was just things that didn't really go with what I'd seen from other Chinese families. And then when I went to Yunnan, especially to some of the minority areas, I saw people that looked more like my family did. I remember meeting an older woman, and she looked just like my grandmother.
After returning to the US, Colette wanted to express her newfound cultural identity. And while searching for the right way to present it, she had the unconventional idea to use pop-up books as her medium. But far from the pop-up books we knew as children, Colette reinvented the format, using mosaics of people, artifacts, and landscapes in a complex three-dimensional form, all rooted in her own photography.
I had been exploring the pop-up format before I decided I wanted to do a project about the minorities. I was trying to explore ways to incorporate what I had already spent so much time learning: photography, Photoshop, computer graphics. And I went to the bookstore to look at the game book section because I sort of wanted to make a game with my photos. And next to the game section in the bookstore was the pop-up book section. So that was the first time I opened up a pop-up book and decided that I wanted to learn that. And then one day I just thought to myself, well, perhaps I can merge my skills in pop-up paper engineering with that idea that I always wanted to pursue of documenting the minorities.
In 2008, she received a scholarship to return to Yunnan, where she photographed 25 different ethnic minorities. The journey culminated in her pop-up book, We Are Tiger Dragon People. It forms a documentary of Yunnan's many ethnic groups, capturing festivals, traditions, clothing, and cuisine.
The Wa people, the girls all have particularly long and shiny hair. And they have a dance that they call the hair swinging dance. Men will play drums, and the women will swing their heads to the beat of the drums.
She's also organized workshops teaching the public how to make their own pop-up books, while at the same time presenting the multiculturalism of China. Now he's in Shanghai with an artist residency and a small-scale workshop in the Colorbox Art Center, focusing on creating a simple pop-up book in honor of the Year of the Horse.
We invited Colette to do these workshops because first I actually saw some of her work online through a friend of mine, and the books were extraordinary. They were very, very unique pop-up books. The workshop itself is something unique to Shanghai. There aren't many people that are making books here, let alone pop-up books. The students themselves have found that they are really enjoying this workshop, that they want to come to more workshops because she is an excellent teacher.
Colette Fu's exploration of pop-up books doesn't stop in China. Her books Boathouse Row, First Capital Bank, and Academy of Music all focus on heritage architecture in Philadelphia. One of the few artists to use pop-up books and one of the few to document China's minorities, Colette Fu will now take her vision across the country to explore the many cultures which make up China, infusing the line between installation, books, photography, and sculptures. We're certainly anxious to see what she comes up with next.